Welcome to the BZY-B Wind Down, where we have fresh sips, industry tips, cruising on ships, and all that shit. The one podcast where you have dance, travel, lifestyle, and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Bounce, and I guess I got time today. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the BZY-B Wind Down. I am super excited about today's episode simply because the person sitting right next to me, if you're watching this or listening to this, is somebody near and dear to my heart. She is my other half, my better half. This is my partner and my beautiful girlfriend, the amazing Chelsea Miller, aka or better known as BriJolie. What's up, babe?
What's up, boo?
How are you?
I'm good.
You know, it's a long day. We've had a long day.
Yes.
Y'all, so today we decided to have a little staycation. We got away. We got out of Los Angeles. And as you can see, the setting is very different. So, to tell you where we are, we're in Santa Barbara. We did a little staycation. We're here just enjoying some time together, enjoying our anniversary, and enjoying what's coming. But before we even get into that topic, I want to let y'all know what the topic of the day is. It is simply how to brand and market yourself as an artist. We are both artists. We understand it wholeheartedly, and we have lived it our entire lives. So we're going to get into that. But before we get into the deeper convo, babe, what is your drink of choice for the day?
Well, first we have Dulce, Vida.
Oh, Dulce, Vida.
Which is lime, blanco tequila infused with lime and other natural flavors.
Oh my gosh.
100% pure agave.
We love us some agave. So we got number one.
And just a splash of, the classic Don Julio Blanco.
Yes, I love it. So we've got some Dulce Vida, and we've got some Don Julio. These are our drink of choices for the day, the night. And we're gonna open these, pour our drink. She's got her cup, I've got my cup, and we're gonna get our drinks in, and then we'll get into this topic, which is simply about branding and marketing yourself. But while we're over here pouring up, babe, why don't you tell the people where are you from?
Well, for starters, let it be known that I am a Texas gal. I am from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've lived all over in the DF, so it's a blessing to be a Southern belle. And that's where I met you.
That's where you met me. We literally want to splash now.
Yeah, splash.
Okay, just a splash. Go,
splash. This that splash.
Oh, all right, a little splash of that Don Julio. We're gonna put those right there for when it's time for us to, refill during this conversation. Cheers. With me in my eyes. Cheers to y'all. Woo! It's hitting right.
Shocker.
So as y'all can see, today is not a wine down; it's a tequila down. Well, we're gonna get into this conversation. So, like she said, we met. We have known each other for years, and we're Texas girls. So, babe, I've been asking everybody this conversation. We've kind of briefly had this conversation before, but let the people know. In this time of quarantine and this time of just settling down and having time with yourself, what is something you've discovered within yourself that maybe you've had to learn to let go of, or what is something that you've grown from during this time?
I've grown from being comfortable. Grown from being comfortable because I feel like, for the longest I was on this routine of just, on the road and working and, back and on the road and working and then back. So it was kind of and I was getting used to that, and then all of that stopped. So it really forced me to tap into myself, tap into my own strengths, and tap into my own creativity, when I'm not around, 95 other creatives, So, yeah, it's just really forced me to go within and just go to those deeper parts of myself that I may not have identified before now. So,
and that's very important. That's very important. Yeah. Do you feel like it's such a good growth that, even outside of this time, it's progressed you?
Yes, definitely progression. You know, I'm human, so there have been times where I'm just like, what is even happening right now? Like, what's next? And the what's next question is always like, I feel like it's been looming over my head since high school graduation. It's always just like, what's next? And what's next?
Like, you're like, stop asking me that question. Like, please stop asking me that question.
So, you know, but it allows you to get creative and create your own opportunities as well.
Very true, very true.
So, you know, it's a blessing in disguise.
Do you feel like it's more, can it progress you personally and in business wise?
Oh yes, definitely in business wise. I feel like this is a test for a lot of businesses at the moment. Like even, you know, not even creatives, but small businesses, retail businesses, restaurants, all types of things. Like people are being tested because we're not in our normal state of movement. So they're having to figure out ways to be innovative. Like literally people are creating patios outside of their restaurants and like
it's so crazy.
So it, like I said, like even with restaurant people and stuff, they have to tap into creativity.
That's true.
Just like we do.
That's
and they
true.
have to get creative and be like, how can we still invite patrons here, make this a comfortable and, you know, somewhat usual dining experience.
Right, and it still make it feel like personal. Yeah. Which you see, I totally just discovered last night. I'm in a whole show, and we just made a whole live stream show.
Yes.
Which
was amazing.
It was so like cool. It was virtual. Like even when everything was going on, we were still yelling at each other behind the scenes, and nobody knew that we were talking the entire time we were performing. You know what I'm saying? But we had that opportunity to make it feel like home for everybody in their homes. You know, it's not the new reality, but hey, it is what it is. We're still dealing with it. We've been dealing with it for months, like months.
4 or 5 months.
All right, so question, what are some modern day tools you feel are good for branding yourself? Like what are some avenues that you can take for branding yourself?
Well, of course, the biggest one and most obvious one is social media. And, you know, social media, it has its good and bad, but there are some good tools that you can use on social media to boost and brand yourself as a creative. And I really feel like it's important to let, you know, various sides of you show and not just put the, you know, the glitz and the glam, even though that is cool and, you know, you have to create like an aesthetic, but it is still great to feel a personable side, you know, of someone that you might be interested in. Like, so I feel like that's one of the most important tools, and just really being consistent in what you're doing in your work, and keep putting the content out there. Not even if it's not social media. You know, just still being able to create, you know, whatever it might be, visuals, photos, you know, anything to keep a buzz in people's ear and, you know, just keep your name out there.
Right. So, I mean, because it's like the human attention span is literally that. In 7 seconds, you can lose somebody. So it's like, what can the eye catch? And it's so many things we learned. I know we all say, like, in high school, you're like, this is not going to matter later on in life, but it really does. Like, I know in graphic design, they were like, what color and signs do you see all the time for restaurants? It's like, you know, reds and yellows and all the, you know, primary colors. Yes. Because those are attractive to the eye. It makes you feel like you're hungry. Like, those things matter. So when you're creating an aesthetic on social media for branding yourself, you're putting a print on something that people can remember. Before we get even deeper into this conversation, let everybody know who you are and what your brand is.
Okay, so I am BriJolie. As you can see, the hoodie, you know, maybe we can talk about how to get these at the end of the episode.
We'll get to it. We'll definitely get to that.
Exclusivity. But yeah, I am BriJolie. I'm an artist. My brand is The BriJolie Show. BriJolie Entertainment, just like, which just birthed officially like a week ago, which is super exciting. Just having a stamp and a business to be a part of and build from.
Yeah.
You know, I have so many goals and aspirations for my brand. So, you know, it's about starting small and growing and developing this into, you know, all of my aspirations that I see for the total brand of BriJolie Entertainment. So, yeah, it's mostly music, everything art. Just,
art.
You know, everything art, which I'm glad that my mother did not limit me, you know, growing up when it came to my art and how I chose to spend my extracurricular activities.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Being very well-rounded and being able to dibble and dabble in all different types of things have developed me into who I am today. So it's really, really dope, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
I'm excited to see where it goes. So what are 3 key things you think are important when it comes to branding yourself?
3 key things. I would have to say professionalism, creativity, and consistency. I know I have talked about consistency.
Wow, those are powerful.
That is very important. And just tapping into those different things. Like now we don't have the things that are readily available for us to use as far as creatives, and just like, you know, and even if they are available, it's under certain guidelines and things like that. So it's really causing us to move differently and think about how we can level up on, you know, our usual comfortability of and way of doing things. So it's just about really tapping into those and strengthening them as much as you can.
So with professionalism, give me something that's the first thing you look at when you're working with somebody or you are presenting yourself to somebody. What is something you're like, this has to be on point?
Well, when you're speaking of yourself, make sure that you're able to follow up with that. You know what I'm saying? Like people, you know,
it's easy to talk
it's easy to talk a good game.
It's easy to write on your resume too.
Yes, but are you gonna follow up, and are people going to want to work with you after, you know, that first little interaction? That's really what gives you longevity and helps you move along through whatever avenue you're deciding to go on. Sometimes it's literally solely based off of who you are as a person. Like Chloe and Halle said, who are you when no one's watching? Like your integrity, like, and what you're doing behind the scenes and not just, you know, in the forefront and the limelight, you know. How are you working to, you know, keep your name and your brand alive? It's not just about the look. It's about, you know, the groundwork and really having, you know, that stable that people can be like, yes, I want to work with them again. Yes. Same. And we've got taught that at an early age from
our moms, our parents, and still
the number one diva herself, Miss Debbie Allen, who is very influential, you know, in our lives and coming up and taught us how to own a room.
She said, don't be just a dancer. Don't be just a singer. You will be a quadruple threat. You want to go past just the boundaries you've already set for yourself. Because when people look at you, sometimes that's all they see. But when you pull out that one little thing out of your back pocket, they're like, wait, what? And you're like, I'm an artist. I'm not just a dancer. I'm not just a singer. I'm a director. I'm a producer. I can be an influencer, because we're always influencers. Artists are influencers every single day. We influence fashion, which is still art, but like dancers themselves, singers themselves actually create brands because they're creating an aesthetic for themselves, which is something else you said, creativity. So what's something you would say is like the first thing you look at with creativity is like, what is that?
There are 1,000,001 people out here, I'm sure, that want to be a singer, a dancer, an actor, a model, a painter, a graphic designer, or something. But what is that one thing that makes you stand out above other people? And not really in a competitive way, but something different, something that's going to spark them and be like, oh, it's that photographer, the one that puts the red, you know, aesthetic on all of his work. We know him because of that. So tapping in and finding out, you know, how, and that means, you know, even collaborating with people and being able to bounce ideas off of other people, not stealing, You know, I feel like sometimes we feel threatened and we don't want to share ideas with people because we think, oh, now it's a competition, but it's really not.
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my
shit. Are, and we are. We are very sensitive about our shit. So, you know, but it's important to work with other people and be able to bounce ideas off of each other and be like, you know what, I learned that from so-and-so.
Right.
And I took it and made it my own and put my own spin to it. So, you know, it's about using your resources and using them to build you up.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, okay, you said professionalism, creativity,
consistency.
And consistency. What is one thing with consistency you would say literally is like, this is it? Like, if you just, and consistency itself is, if you do this, like, you're good. But what is one thing within that you would say is like super important?
I would say always delivering the same quality of work and not taking the easy way out. Me as an artist, I get stressed out so much just because things are not going my way. And but it's not for me to just be like, okay, I give up and I'm gonna just put everything out. It just forces me to really come back in and collect my thoughts and be like, okay, how can I do this and still keep my audience attracted or still keep people on board with me? And you know, I feel like, and in music, it's a lot of pressure with artists because people, once they hear a bomb album, they want to hear that again, and again and again. And if it's not the same, or if you don't deliver the same,
or you're not in the same place anymore.
And that's something that I feel like, you know, listeners and consumers of creatives have to understand. Like, we have different phases of life and different things that we may be feeling, and it's not always going to be the same. But are you still bringing that same essence to your work, and still
are you still being you?
Yes. One person that I always love to talk about is Fantasia and her one project. I can't even remember the title of it at the moment, but she had so many different genres on that album.
The last one.
Yes,
and she told them, if I can't do what I want to do, I'm not doing it.
Exactly, and she came out, and it was a great project, and it was different for a lot of people, but it was still amazing and still, you know, so awesome to see her really walk in that essence and stand firm in who she was and be like, you know, I'm still put out this music. It might be a little different, but I'm still consistent. I'm still working hard. You still gonna see, you know, the same Fantasia killing it, but killing it on a country song.
And had a whole gospel song at the end. Like, what? I love that. So professionalism, creativity, and consistency. And we're going to make sure everybody hears that. Professionalism, creativity, and consistency. Definitely very, very, very important in all that you're doing. Even if you aren't an artist and you're listening to this, it's just in general as a person. Those are things that you should look for in anybody you come across, anybody you are working with, as far as like them even being the artist you're working with. You have to ask for those things. You definitely do. So I know we both have our own brands, and they just found out BriJolie. What is some tips you would give that you have learned yourself, or have learned within the process of learning how to pull and bring in your own brand, that you would say, I want to share that? Like, I definitely would love to share that with people. I know for me, like, my things are consistency, creativity, but professionalism is like something we've always have to look for. But I love to see people's like actual like commitment and stuff. Like, I like commitment. Like, I want to see that you're gonna actually be there for it. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to my brand, or just brands in general, or people I work with, I always look at what I learned while I'm on set, what I learned while I'm working with other people. What are some things that you've learned?
Well, it's so amazing to be around creatives because you do always learn. Like,
you do.
And there are always teachable moments and more things for you to be strengthened on. I will retract and go back and say that it is important that you work with people and know how to, you know, collaborate and coexist with other creatives or whoever it might be in your avenue. Issa Rae said something that resonated: always work across. And that, you're not gonna always be able to work with best friend and cousin and all of them, because sometimes it might be,
that's not
a little shaky.
Not for that. They may not be.
But it is important to have a strong team and support system around you. And I know we come from an age where we are very independent and we want to do things ourselves, and it's not in a me type of way, but because we have access to so many things, I feel like we be like, I can do this, I can learn how to do this, I'll go to university, like, but there's somebody out there that, is here to do that. So let them, come in and help you, be a helping hand in building. And it's so important to just have that, strong support system. And
we grew up on it, and although it sounds so cliche, it does take a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise your baby. Your baby is your brand. Like, it takes a village. We as human beings need each other. She's very much so into mine, just as much as I'm into hers, even when we're not into it with each other's brands. Like, we're into it. We support.
Yes.
We are there to be a soundboard, the ideas that come. It's all within stuff. So, in your brand, what are some umbrella things that you got? I know BriJolie is the name. Then you have the artist BriJolie. Then what's after that? What else do we have?
Man, we have a lot of things that, and I say we, like it's just a whole team of people, but I have a lot of aspirations for the brand of BriJolie, and I want it to be very true to who I am. And real life experiences. Like, I have collabed or trying to, build with a company called Beam, which is a Black mental health organization. Because we all go through things, and I feel like we are the generation to be able to identify, what we're going through and get help for that. And that's important. And I feel like as artists too, and as creatives, there's so much hustle and bustle and so many things that could deter us from our dreams and goals. And having our mental together is the first step. Like, you don't want to get burned out. So it's important to, cater to your mind and listen to your body and be in touch with your spirit to, get your art out there and make it be the best product that it can be. So, with that, and just, letting the genuity shine through and being a genuine person.
We love a genuine person.
People lose sight of that a lot. They see the good stuff, and it's important to let them know that you're a person too. We go through the same things. My tire was flat the other day too. Like, everyone has been there. We
all in the same place right now too. Like, if it's any time, it's now to understand we're all human.
Yes.
And we're all working towards a higher goal for ourselves. And in all of that will make a better world.
Yes.
And when people stop trying to compete with each other and realize we need each other, like we said, Issa Rae said, build across. Because building up and down, they're not going to understand. And I think that's one thing with branding I learned is when my brother's dean of his line said, your blessing and your gift is not for everybody to understand. God didn't give them that. It wasn't for them to see. It's for them to watch. But your gift is for you to project to the world to make a better place. And you can't explain that to everybody. He said it's like trying to teach somebody about fine dining and they eat McDonald's every day. It's a different level of understanding. I may not understand that now, you know what I'm saying? But we were there at some point, but it's called growth. And branding comes with growth too. I know we both hit some roadblocks. And some things that were like, okay, I'm learning from that. So what's one thing in branding that you've definitely learned and you're like, all right, mental note, I don't ever want to go through this again, or some roadblocks you've come across that you're learning how to maneuver around?
Sometimes you just gotta LIG and let it go. Really, because like even, you know, like you might have a deadline, and though you told that person about that deadline 2 weeks ago, and the date is here, and you may not still receive what you're supposed to get, and it's just like, okay, how do I move forward from this? Of course, it's upsetting initially. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm not the best person to deal with change and sudden change. I be like, oh my god. And so it's just, you know, it's about learning how to bounce back and finding solutions. And it's okay, get mad, whatever. You know, take a break, take a breather, you know, but then just get back on your feet and be like, how am I gonna, you know, get this done and still be consistent in my work and make sure that everything comes out smoothly and how I, you know, need it to be.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just like LIG, go with the flow. You know, everything is not perfect. We do not live in a perfect world, sadly.
The greatest,
you know,
perfection is imperfection. That's when you know it's real.
Exactly.
Quoted by me. That's my quote, guys. No, but it's so real. It's so real. I think that's definitely something we're both learning. I know for me, it's not marrying everything. LIG goes with that, but literally not marrying the thought and knowing that as a creative, sometimes the mistakes and the changes are so worth it.
Yes.
Like, so worth it at the end of the day. I definitely just had the biggest change of a lifetime for a job, and it was it was definitely a reality check, but all in all, we figured it out. Mm-hmm. And in figuring it out, we had a great show. So and sometimes it takes that getting upset and crying and being upset and having an attitude and having to go outside and walk it off and breathe, but with a brand, or just in general as an artist, we are a brand ourselves. Like us walking around being BriJolie and Bounce.
Yeah. And
any other artist walking around Missy, that name is already a brand. So how can you elevate that? And so sometimes it comes with making changes and being okay with those changes. Yep. So to everybody listening, it's okay. It's okay to let things go. It's okay to make a change. It's okay for things to, you know, elevate differently, in a different path than what you expected. It's all okay. It's all gonna work out for the better. It always works out for the better. And I had to be taught that. Like, it works out for the better.
Turn those L's into lessons. Don't even look at them as L's. Just look at them as lessons and learn from them and grow from them.
Right.
Yeah, life is all about growing.
Right.
And, you know, just really elevating off of life's experiences.
Right. So what is one of your biggest branding goals?
Biggest branding goals, man, is to, you know, incorporate all of these ideas I have into one. You know, we are a multi-hyphenate generation. Mm-hmm. We're good at a lot of different things and want to explore a lot of different things. So being able to achieve that, you know, in whatever capacity, and being able to bring it all together collectively into my brand is just one of my biggest goals.
I love it. All right. So tell us about what you've been working on recently.
Well, you know, been working on the music, working on my project From Me to Me, which is coming out this Friday, August 28th. So it's really exciting, putting out my first full body of work and, you know, compressing all of these different parts of BriJolie into one project.
Right.
And trying to make that shine through my music. I feel like has been a challenge, but a challenge that has been worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's allowed me to just really meet different people and, you know, bring my voice out in different places.
Right.
And learn how to use my voice in my music and make my lyrics relatable and things like that. So look out for that project. It'll be on all platforms. And of course, visuals to follow. Truth Is, which was creative, directed, and choreographed by my beautiful lady over here. our first official project together. Which
official.
Yeah, and it was fire.
We've known each other since we were 6 years old, and at now 27, we are creating and directing and doing all these great things. She's dancing, y'all. She's dancing. She's actually dancing in the video, but that was really fun. So how did you feel about the whole music video?
Man, truth is, music video was a fantastic experience. Just being able to be around so many beautiful people. I had 6 dancers a part of the video, some of who were my friends and some new faces, and it was just an amazing experience. Of course, I had my anchors, my home team, my usual girls, Carnita and Grace, who always keep me laced, you know, with my hair laced figuratively and literally. And Carnita, who keeps me laced, you know, with my threads and everything. So that was amazing. And of course, collaborating with my love and just being able to be comfortable in that setting. And working with 3, who's a new videographer that I discovered on Instagram, and he's really dope.
Creative.
Another dope creative, and you know, so it was just great energy, and it made the work so much easier, and I'm just looking forward to the final product. I'm super excited.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, well, before we get into that, I need my drink. Tell the people where they can keep up with you, how they can keep connected, how they can get this EP.
Listen, okay.
Tell the people.
So, how y'all can get this EP? First things first, it's gonna be on all streaming platforms, wherever you stream music: Tidal, Google Play, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever you like to listen. Yeah. Whatever you like to listen to, it'll be available there from me to me. My first EP, first of many projects from BriJolie. Also, keep up with me on Instagram at the BriJolie Show. You know, I love interacting with, you know, new and old followers on there, and especially with like all the new things that Instagram is, you know, developing within the app. It's just fun to create and get to know other people.
Right.
Across that platform, and you can find me on any music or like, you know, visual platform at BriJolie. So yeah,
and that's BriJolie.
Yes.
So the BriJolie Show, TheBriJolie for Instagram, and on any platform BriJolie. It's all going to be listed below. Definitely tune in, keep up with her, get that EP, run it up, give her that check, because she deserves it, and so somebody can discover her and get her some management, because she deserves it. She works very hard. Babe, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations ahead of time. You've worked very hard. It's been a blessing sitting beside you. Cheers to you.
Yes, it's a blessing sitting beside you.
And also, run that music video up. The Truth Is music video comes out on the 28th as well. It's a double celebration day.
Woo,
so
day.
get that. And cheers to y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. I cannot wait for the next one. Please tune in weekly on Wednesdays and Saturdays for a conversation and a drink with me and whatever special guest is on. But until next time, I'm your host, Bounce, and I guess I got time today. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.